billions of dollars exit crypto and pour out of FTX in a decisive, quick, and completely brutal reach-around surprise from CZ himself. The crypto market has set a lower low of this entire year and the entire bear market. But what is so absolutely and completely bananas about all of this will blow your mind. There comes a time in every Moon Boy's life when he has to look himself in the mirror, wipe away the tears, and lie to himself and say that everything is gonna be okay. What an absolutely insane day. Of the last 6 years that I've been in crypto, I would argue that this is the biggest day, the craziest day I've ever seen, and not even because of the price. Simply what just happened, what will happen after this, which just boggles my mind, and also the price. So the price is it's there, but there are so many other huge things that make today remarkable, and we're gonna be talking about that. I'm a little late to posting today because, well, let's just say the market wasn't the only thing dumping today. Eat too many spicy hot wings and you get belly rumblies like you will never imagine. Especially when you get the extra hot, spicy hot wings. Let's just say it hurts. It hurts a lot. Absolutely time-sensitive alerts, and without any further ado, let's just jump into this video. As the biggest thing that I noticed today, the biggest thing about everything that has happened, right, is this. What is completely bananas about all of this to me is that FTT, wow, unbelievable. Let's look at this. Oh my gosh. That is remarkable. That's insane. FTT, basically, this entire feud between, very short-lived feud, I might add. I thought this was going to be like a battle. I thought this was going to take weeks and even months, basically, between CZ and Sam Bankman-Fried. I thought that, Sam, you hear so much about FTX and how everything about them. Yes, it's possible they might be insolvent. They might not have the funds to back up a lot of stuff. But the fact that it took one day, it took less than 24 hours for all of this to unfold is what completely blows my mind. Just 12 hours ago, Sam was on Twitter basically saying everything's fine, FTX is fine, we have funds, everything is fine. And it turns out it wasn't at all. It was not fine. And what has happened here is just nothing short of completely mind-boggling. And what's amazing about this too is that the DXY is not looking good, which is normally good for Bitcoin. And the stock market doesn't look that bad. The stock market closed rather bullish today, above the 21-day moving average, right? Looks good. Normally this would help Bitcoin as well. But because of what happened specifically with crypto, we got a nice big dump. And this is what's also interesting to me is that for the last year, for months and months, Bitcoin has relied solely on inflation, like the US dollar value, relied on the stock market. And today, it didn't care about any of that. It just got completely brought down by crypto itself. We had the two biggest people basically in crypto, aside from Vitalik, he's probably one of the biggest ones. So Sam and CZ, Sam Bankman-Fried and CZ are two of the biggest people in crypto. Their feud single-handedly absolutely messed up crypto today. And we set a lower low on Bitcoin's chart. And I don't know exactly what to think of this yet because there's a good possibility that in just a couple of days on the CPI reading on Thursday, we could get decent news, right? The stock market could start doing well. The DXY doesn't look good. We could collapse down here, and that would be good for a lot of risk on assets. But will it be good for Bitcoin? Because right now we have a much bigger factor, and that is what nobody thought was possible just a day ago. FTX being completely obliterated this way, this quickly. This is truly, this is very similar to a black swan event. This is absolutely nuts, right? And I'm still trying to wrap my head around it because basically it makes me think, it basically makes me very weary. Again, I really don't like trusting people, right? I don't like trusting an owner of an exchange or something like that. People put a lot of faith in Sam, right? And now if they did that, they're not looking too good right now. And it makes me also question the same thing. I think people are putting way too much faith in somebody like Elon or something because we've seen what happens with that. It is not good to put a lot of your faith into a single person for them to do what you want them to do. And so I think that's, if there's anything from today, it's that anything to take from today so far is that pretty much things can get nuts extremely fast here. So what we have here is the FTX chart. We can see absolute exodus from FTX, over $1 billion of money just pulled from the exchange. Over $1 million of crypto just pulled out of the exchange. We see Bitcoin here, liquidations to the upside and downside going crazy because of how volatile this has been. And FTX basically on the brink of collapse after liquidity crunch at crypto exchange. I would say, yeah, I mean, looks like a collapse to me. It looks like we've already maybe seen that. I mean, just today, FTT token is down like 90%. Okay, that is, at one point it was down 90%. That is just truly insane. And it brought the entire crypto market with it, right? So we're looking at this. The DXY didn't pump, which would be good for Bitcoin. The stock market's doing fine, which is normally good for Bitcoin. But what we see today is a complete collapse in the ecosystem itself. Again, temporarily. I mean, if we look at on this weekly chart, it doesn't look that bad, right? For Bitcoin. I mean, we just basically came down. But we are seeing, I mean, I don't like using this comparison because I've heard it so much, but like, is this basically just Luna all over again? Is it UST all over again? It kind of just seems like it. Is there nobody that's is there no exchange owner who just doesn't gamble with everyone's funds? Or like, I mean, nobody knows for sure how Alameda Research and FTX and everything, how they were making all of their profit. I know there is like the theories and the ideas of like the flywheel scheme or whatever it is, all of that stuff. But basically, was none of this legitimate with FTX? I never promoted FTX and I've never used it. I've literally never even gone to FTX. So it hasn't affected me whatsoever. And nobody that's watched my videos because I've never talked about FTX. But it is just, it's crazy to think about because when that happens to another big exchange, it should make you a little bit more cautious, right? After all, it is very important for you to use a hardware wallet. Keep your funds off exchanges. But overall, right now, this is a very big wick. This is something that, if I would give my opinion on where I think price is headed next, I think that most likely everything will go back to normal prices and follow the stock market by tomorrow, as long as another exchange doesn't collapse, basically. FTX was, I mean, pretty much the only big one that could collapse left. Well, Coinbase, Binance, there's some other ones, but I think everything's settled for now, unless we get more collapses, which that's hard to predict. And I mean, let's be honest though too, I think this was fully exacerbated by the fact that CZ kind of came back after Sam because of what Sam has been doing, trying to kind of go behind people's backs with regulatory stuff and F them over a little bit and try to help himself. That absolutely backfired. CZ then took a shot at him pretty much and then ruined FTX is what it seems like, right? So it was absolutely brought on by CZ. He definitely uses influence and his money to absolutely do this. If CZ just would have been napping for the last 3 days, this wouldn't have happened, okay? If he wouldn't have been on Twitter, if he wouldn't have done and said the tweets that he did, people would not have started pulling their money out of FTX, cascading this like it did. So, again, I personally think that this exchange collapse was basically, well, it's not even an opinion, it's just factual. This exchange collapse was pretty much just because of two people arguing, which is what everyone kind of knows at this point. So it's just wild. It's just mind-blowing, I think. It's crazy to think about. And so while I was stuck in the city with a big tummy ache, it did make me think. This is absolutely bananas, and I pretty much cannot wrap my head fully around just how quick something can happen, right? It can happen in an hour. It can change everything. Subscribe, turn on those ghost notifications so never miss these absolutely time-sensitive alerts. Without any further ado, that's it for me.